Hello and welcome back everyone. It has been a very long time since I have made a YouTube video, and I'm very happy to share that I have built my first AI application. It's called yappify.ai, and I'm going to be demonstrating what it is, why I made it, and the steps forward from here. Without further ado, let's get right into it. To summarize, yappify.ai is a speech-to-text application that uses AI to transcribe your voice and turn it into the perfect prompt. Now, why did I make this application? I made this application because in the past, when I was communicating with various AI models, I found it pretty difficult to convey my thoughts for requests. Now, with ChatGPT in particular, on the phone app, there is a microphone icon where you can enable speech to text. This is not the advanced voice call model where you are having an active conversation with ChatGPT. This is purely speech to text at its finest. And what I would do is I would turn that on and speak my thoughts out, whether it be a minute to, I think the largest I've ever talked was for like 5 minutes. And then it would transcribe the audio and I would have my prompt. And this was excellent when it came to communicating with AI because I can convey my thoughts better speaking than I can typing. On average, when we type around 40 words per minute. But when we talk, we speak about 150 words per minute. So you can see that speaking is a lot more effective in communicating with artificial intelligence. Now, the problem was this speech-to-text function was only available on ChatGPT on the phone application. This is not included in the desktop version of ChatGPT, and it is not present in any other AI systems that I have seen with the basic user interface that we all see. So I decided that if I want to be more productive, instead of constantly switching between my phone and my computer when using artificial intelligence, I decided that, okay, I need to build this speech-to-text app on the computer so that I can make my productivity a lot more better. So how did I build this application without any coding background? It all started with ChatGPT, of course, and I asked it that I want to build this application. I don't have any coding background, and what platform should I use and what language should I use? So it recommended I use VS Code and I use Python, and from there was a long back and forth over the next few days of getting the basics, getting the window, getting the basic functionality. And in the very beginning, I was using Python's free library of speech recognition. So I had a very basic window. I had a text box, talk button, and a copy to clipboard button. Although the app was functioning, the speech to text was not very accurate, and I had a lot of trouble with the whole audio file saving. And there was just a lot more days of back and forth and reconfiguring until I finally switched to the O1 reasoning model, which kind of revamped the application. It fixed the audio recording file problem, and it fixed any other issues I had at that time. Eventually, when I got it at a working state, I was like, okay, now it's time to integrate OpenAI into it. So first what I did was I figured out how to install OpenAI's Whisper model and connect that directly into my application. Now, it was good. Although I was using the small version of OpenAI's Whisper, it took too long to transcribe audio because I was running it locally and I don't have any GPUs on my laptop, of course. So I realized that, okay, although it's a lot more accurate and I can talk for as long as I want now, it's taking too long to transcribe. And that's when I decided, okay, it's time to integrate OpenAI's API. After topping up my API account, I connected it back into my application and transcription was flawless. I was calling for API calls and I was talking for as long as I want, and within seconds my audio would transcribe into text. So now I reached the stage where on VS Code, when I ran the script, I had an application where I can now start working with artificial intelligence, whether it be personal projects or work-related projects. Then I decided that, okay, I have the API key. What more can I do? So that's when I decided to create my transcribe button. And what it does is it takes the output of speech to text and it transforms it into the perfect prompt. So instead of looking for prompts on the internet, you can just speak your thoughts and it will craft it to the perfect prompt. And that will call another OpenAI API, and it was ChatGPT 4o Mini. After finally connecting the two models, I decided, okay, now it's time to make the app look pretty. So I went online and I started designing the elements for the application. And what we have is the final build. And I'm going to now showcase the app, give a live demonstration, and talk a bit more about the future. Alright, without wasting any more time, let's get right into the demo of yappify.ai. The app is at a state now where I just have it packaged and I have it in my launchpad. So whenever I want to access the app, I just go straight into the launchpad and I click on my application. Now here we are in the main user interface. As you can see, I kept it very simple. So let's go over everything that you're seeing. So right on the top where the mouse is, you can see that's the talk button. This is the button you press when you want to begin sharing your thoughts. On the left is the stop button for when you're done your recording. And then on the right is the transcribe button. So you can talk for as long as you like, whether you want to talk for 10 seconds and just throw in the prompt, or if you want to go on a full-on rant, if you want to start yapping, then you can go on for, I've not even tested how long you can go for. And honestly, I've been thinking that there's potential where you can add in your own audio files, for example, uploading an audio file of your meeting and getting notes on that. Anyways, right under that we see a line, and this is just the audio wave to show that your thing is recording and picking up your mic. We have a text box over here. This is where your output is going to be pasted. Now we have a copy button just to copy the text quickly, and we have a clear text so you can begin using it again. On the bottom left, this is another AI button, and this is called Promptify. Now what this does is it takes the output of your speech to text and it transforms it. There are some modes to this. Now when we get to the menu tab, you can see that we have a toggle for dark and light mode. We'll keep it at light for now. We have a microphone select button. I'm going to keep it with my built-in. And then we have the 3 Promptify modes. So Prompt Enhancer, as the name suggests, turns your output and formats it in a manner which best communicates what you want to say to the AI. We also have Quick Notes. Now this is if you're not prompting an AI, if this is something if you want to do for yourself, and you want to rant out about what your day plan is, or something you need to do regarding an activity, you can just speak whatever you need to say and it'll structure it into awesome notes that you could just copy paste onto your notes or your phone. Another interesting thing that I want to show you guys is that I've added a disconnect API and a connect API button, and this is the API indicator. Now that means whoever uses my application must put in their own API key. Now why did I do this? I did this because a lot of these AI apps require the subscription-based model where you're paying anywhere from like $20 to $60 a month to use their AI service, even if it's the most simple AI application. What I did was I wanted to give the users full control of their usage. So since I'm using OpenAI, the user will have to get their own API key from their own API account. And this way they get to track and monitor how much of the app they're using and manage their own costs. So my API is connected right now, but just for the sake of the demonstration, I'll show you how it works. Alright, so if the app is not connected to an API, it'll prompt you with this window. So I'm going to paste my API key here and I'm going to save it for future use. Also another note, it's stored locally, meaning there is no risk of your API key being leaked anywhere. That's what makes this application really cool. And anyways, now that we're hooked up with the API key, we are going to do a demo and see this application in action. So we're going to keep it on prompt enhancer mode. Now I'll show you exactly how I use this application. So imagine I want to make changes to the features of this app. Okay, I just mentioned earlier that it would be cool if there was a way to upload an audio file yourself and get that transcribed. Next, I was also thinking that it would be interesting to have another button where the user can modify what their Promptify action does. So this is how I would go back to ChatGPT and manipulate my code. I'd press talk. Okay, I want to make some changes to my application. So right now, I've noticed that the Whisper API key is pretty powerful. And instead of just doing temporary audio recordings and transcribing them, I would like to have a feature where right on the top right side of the application, have a button to upload an audio file that can then be transcribed. Next, I would like to add another button in the menu tab of the application, and it calls for another API call similar to the existing Promptify, but this time when you click it, it opens up a window where the user can type in their own instructions of Promptify. And once they save it and that new button is selected, the user can get their own custom button for Promptify to transform their output of text whatever the way they want. Now, okay, so I just stopped recording, and I don't know if I'm gonna like cut this video in pieces or not, just show the demonstration, but if I kept it live, that's because naturally I make pauses when I speak, correct? Or I might say something and essentially mess up my train of thought. That's okay. It'll still fix that. So now that my audio recording is done, I can click the transcribe button, and within a matter of seconds, it'll have my audio transcribed. And here we see that everything I just said is here, and now I want to send this off to ChatGPT. So I can just copy the text and just send it as it is, or I can now press Promptify. And now this calls for another API call, and that's going to take the text and is going to turn it into the perfect prompt to send. So I'm planning to implement some significant changes to my application, particularly focusing on enhancing user interaction and functionality. Firstly, this, secondly, blah, I'm looking for insights on how to effectively implement these features. So that would get the next conversation thread with ChatGPT started. Now I can copy this paste and I can paste it then in ChatGPT or any other AI model. It doesn't matter. This just helps structure your yapping. Now I want to also show a demonstration of quick notes. Now, let's say I'm tracking my workout log, okay? And I come back home and I want to recap what I did in the gym and paste it in a notes folder, okay? So I'm going to press talk. All right, I want to take notes of what I did in the gym today. So when I came in, it was push day today. I came in, I stretched, did some dynamic stretching. Then I immediately went on to the treadmill. I ran for about 20 minutes and I did about 3.5 kilometers and burnt around 250 calories. Then I proceeded with my workout and I started off doing push-ups. I did 3 sets of 15. Then I moved on to the bench press, where the first set I did 65 pounds for 20 reps. The next set I did 18 pounds, sorry, not 18 pounds. I did 100 pounds for 10 reps. I did 200 pounds for 6 reps. Then I went on, I did tricep pull downs, and I did 4 sets of 10 with 50 pounds. Then I did dips. I did 3 sets of 15. And then I finished it off by doing... Just trying to make this interesting. I finished it off by doing some yoga. I did yoga for 20 minutes. So I just said whatever weird workout that was, and I'm going to transcribe it. And within a few seconds, I get everything I just said, and I'm going to verify quick notes is selected, and I'm going to transcribe. And just like that, we have the date, the workout, push day, and what's funny is, like, it's set in such a way where it will take whatever you say and structure it, right? Like I talked about working out just now. So it broke down my workout routine, what I did, and gave me some notes. Focus on maintaining form during exercises. Consider increasing weight in future sessions if comfortable. So, but it's super cool. Now I can just copy this and just paste it in my journal or wherever I like to store this data. That concludes the demo. Now I would like to talk about the problems I'm having with this application. Now, what are some problems I'm having with this application? So, the app is in a working state on both Mac and on Windows. I have the app packaged, and whenever I'm working, I have it on, and it works flawlessly. The problem I've been having is, number one, it's difficult for me to give it to other people because on Mac OS particularly, I need to have the app licensed, and my MacBook is very outdated, so I can't even install App Developer on the App Store or whatever the application is called. I can't install it, so I can't enroll for the program to get my license key. So I can't give this out to anyone on Mac OS. And on Windows, we're making I say we, but it's just me. I've been doing everything. So on Windows, packaging it opens up on other computers, but there's some issues regarding calling OpenAI's APIs and connection errors. So that needs to be resolved. And again, it's also has a large part of what it has to do also has to do with Windows version of licensing the app. I have to put it in a proper installation software, but these are problems that I can overcome eventually. If I've made this app entirely from scratch without knowing how to code, I will find a way to package it. But I've also been thinking recently that I may as well recreate this application on a no-code platform called bubble.io. This is now talking about the future. This way, if I can build it through them, I'm hoping that I am able to make this application accessible to other people, because this is a game-changing application for me personally, at least, because I'm always using not just GPT. If I'm using whatever other AI, DeepSeek, if I'm using Grok from X, if I'm using Meta's AI, or if I'm using Gemini, right? Because I'm always swapping between the different models and testing them out. The way these AIs work is with context, correct? So the ultimate way of providing context, in my opinion, is by speaking as opposed to typing. So once I created this application, I realized that I don't know what I would do without it. And that's why I have a small sense of urgency to share it with people. In the future, I'm also hoping to get a new MacBook so I can install it for other people. But currently, I'm looking for work. So if you're hiring and you're in Canada, you can get in touch with me. As you can see, I'm not sitting around, so yeah. So anyways, this is yappify.ai. This is my first application. I do not have a background in software development. It's a cool application, and you can follow me on X at tmshaz, and you can also now follow yappify.ai on X, and I'll paste the username for that too. But anyways, if you want to get in touch with me to talk about the app, and if you have any ideas for it, if you want to try it out, you can get in touch with me. We can chat all you like, and yeah, I hope to make more updates on this. It's been a really fun journey. I can say that I'm an AI dev now. I mean, kind of, at least. But if this was the first app I made, I'm excited to see what I can do next. Anyways, my name is Temur Shahzada. Thank you very much.